Boom, shaka laka laka. Boom. Okay. Yeah, we just jump right into that. I didn't even give y'all no break, no chaser. I just said we going to read and discuss, honey. Okay, so let's get into it. The key points that I lifted up from this chapter is people have a. I love how he wrote this deep-seated set of preferences that get in the way of happiness. Another key point: don't allow your other conditions to get in the way um, of your happiness. And these can be the conditions that we place on ourselves, like our own preferences or the behavior of others. And expect challenges once you make the decision to make your happiness unconditional, to test your resolve. And we're going to get into that because I want to say before I go too far that that is the truth about everything. It's not just about when you make the decision to be happy. It's also about um, it's also about here we go. It's about everything. Whenever you make a decision to do something, or whenever your level of awareness evolves, best to believe something's going to happen. So, what we prefer, what we like or don't like, those things get in the way. So, when I was preparing for this chapter, what came up for me is weather. Weather came up for me. I would I would like to go outside, but I don't like the rain. I would like to go to the river, but I don't want to take the bus. So it's like that's an example of how I would put the conditions. I would qualify like I would like to do this thing, but I'm gonna keep myself from doing it because you know. And it's like, how can I release that to get to the things that fill me up? Because I know that if I get to the river, it's going to be therapeutic for me. I'm going to be able to connect with nature. I'm going to be able to take my shoes and socks off and ground in the grass. I need that. So, uh, the only person who's the barrier to that is me, you know? So, one example there of that. And those tests, like I was saying, those tests come up with everything. When we put something into the ether, right? We better be intentional and we better mean it. That's why back in the day, I think it was the bull Jiminy Cricket who told Pinocchio, "Be careful what you wish for." Am I making that up? Was that in that story? I don't know, but I know that is a saying to be careful what you wish for, because when we put things out there, it's out there. It's you can't like stuff it back in your mouth and be like, "Oops, my bad, I didn't mean it." So you have to mean it because things are going to start to happen based on what you say. That's how powerful you are. You don't have to believe in your power for it to be true. That's how powerful your words are. Um, and not believing in it is what allows us to misuse it because we don't think that the words have power. So we just be out here saying just anything. And then look at our external circumstances and wonder why it looks like that. Check up on what you're saying. What are you saying about yourself, the world? What do you think about yourself and the world and others? How do you feel about it? All of that must be in alignment. So we say things like, we're ready for love, right? Mm. And then we don't understand how to interpret that message when Source sends us some circumstances, opportunities that are going to grow us in that area to be able to receive love, right? We get so caught up in our preferred way of how it's supposed to look. Perhaps we are looking for someone to come sweep us off our feet. You know, perhaps we're looking for the perfect woman who knows how to cook and clean and be just like our mom. Maybe we're looking for a knight in shining armor. You know, all the fairy tale rom-com tropes. You know what I'm saying? Um, but let me see. I don't even think I showed y'all the quote of the day. I don't think I showed y'all our quote this week. Let me see if I can pull it up. Our quote for this week is, "Your liberation is yours to create. No one can free you but yourself." So that's by Pueblo. Um, so I wanted to show that real quick. Okay. Okay. So remember the quote because that's relevant here. We're the ones who's in charge of our liberation. Isn't that good? That's such a good one. We're the ones who are in charge of that. So, um, we need to be the ones to do the work, right, to establish it. So if we aren't in the position to receive the love we say we desire, because sometimes we're not, let's keep it honest, source is not going to say you're not ready for love in the way that you say you want. Therefore, you don't get to have no love. Like I promise you, that is not how it works. Instead, it more works out like if you're not in a position to receive the love that you say you desire, source is going to help us along to be able to meet that desire. So we might, you know what I'm saying? So consider not getting caught up and fixated on expectations of how it's supposed to look, because that can block the happiness. Things that might need to happen um, to get to that happiness might be for us to have some alone time, for us to have some celibate time. Things may need to happen for us to be able to receive that love from someone else. We have to first be able to give that and receive that from within. So oftentimes, if I say I'm ready for a relationship, you better be ready for source to whip you into shape to be able to receive that. It's you know okay. um, and again, that's with everything. It's not just with happiness, but that's with everything. Like if somebody says, I'm just ready, I'm just no more BS. Like they just say they don't want anyone, they close the circle up. They want to cut all the snakes. How you say it? What's the phrase, y'all? Y'all know the phrase. Cutting the grass. That's what they got to cut the grass from all the snakes, right? Say a person says that, and then they start to call up their homies that they used to calling and running the streets with, and the homies start to flee them. Oh, like maybe one homie gets a man and then don't have no time for her, or she has a falling out with the homie, and it's like, well, what happened? And it's like you you said you was cutting the grass. You said you wanted it to be revealed to you who was not for you and not in your corner. And now you mad because these people that you clinging to are being pulled out of your life, but that's what you asked for. You see what I'm saying? We be so caught up in how we think it's supposed to look. So let me see. I'm missing the chat. Divine Sublime says she learned that lesson on more than one occasion. Yep. Yeah, I know I need to put certain things in order first before I can be ready for love and partnership. Yeah. Yeah. So more key points, more key points. Can you be ready? I mean, can you be happy regardless of what happens? Um, Commit to enjoying life's experiences without conditions. And I put this little note in here, y'all. Even when I wrote this note into the slide, writing that sentence felt liberating to me. Commit to enjoying life experiences without conditions. And then being mindful to not make my happiness be dependent upon someone else's behavior. Let me see what Divine Sublime says. I love this name. Dang, that's true too. I feel like I might have cut the grass unintentionally. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it happens. And it's not because, like I said, we're not being punished and we haven't done anything wrong. But, um, you know, when it comes to the subconscious mind and this energy, there's no differentiation between like imaginary or like what's really happening in front of you. That's why when you watch a movie, if it's like an action film or whatever, if there's some like intense emotional thing happening on screen, you might notice your body reacting to it, your heartbeat racing, like something, because the subconscious isn't really there to differentiate and think that it's not really happening in reality. So when we put those things out there, like I'm ready to cut the grass, you don't, when you say things like you don't want people in your life who aren't for you, but in your mind you say that, but in your mind, I'm not talking about divine sublime, I'm saying in general, universal you. We say that, and then it's like we don't think that the people closest to us that we run the streets with and maybe have been trauma bonded with or any kind of bond, um, we don't consider that they may be the ones who are the first to go. So I went off on that a little bit more, but yeah, you feel me? I know, yeah, you feel me. I had to get that out. All right, thank you for letting me. So, can you be happy regardless of what happens, right? This makes the power of language so important. We get conditioned to those surface emotions. I'm raising my hand pleading. I ain't pleading nothing, but I have been in the classroom teaching children a very surface way to understand emotions and feelings. Happy, sad, embarrassed. You get the little anchor chart poster. You see a happy face, you see a sad face, like, and yes, at a certain developmental level, that's probably the most appropriate, but we need to begin to deepen that at every level. And I'm here to tell you that a lot of times in elementary classrooms that it don't get deep enough. And that's when it needs to get the deepest. Different conversation for a different day. But we're conditioned to that from young and conditioned to believe that what makes us happy is based on what happens outside of us, any external circumstance. If it's sunny and we're happy, if it's sunny, we're happy, and when it rains or snows, people may say that the weather is horrible or terrible. And I heard someone say that recently, and I was like, what kind of thing is that to really say about the natural weather, as if the earth doesn't in fact need rain or snow at times, like it's a necessity. When we get so caught up in our humanness that we even think the weather needs to bend to our every whim. You better not rain because I want to go play outside, and if you rain and I can't do it, then I'm going to be unhappy, right? But so we allow these external preferences to alter our perceptions, which impact how we feel inside. Let me see what Divine Sublime says. It's been lonely at the last few years here for me, but I know it's for a very pertinent reason, even if it hasn't been revealed as to why. Yes, very profound observation, because sometimes it isn't revealed right away. And you say it's been years, so know that your breakthrough is coming. I don't know if you resonate with, I don't know which energies you resonate with, but I'll say that, speaking for myself, I know that with eclipses, we can tend to be in one place and on the other side of it end up in a completely different place that we didn't see before, because it's such expansive energy. So I know your breakthrough is definitely coming. Definitely coming. Um, Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Yes. Keep holding on and keep checking in internally. I love that. I can feel how you're like, yeah, this is what it is, but I'm not fighting it. I'm not resisting it. I just know that I need to hold this space. It's a beautiful thing. Um, so yeah, I used to say, now can I, is it confession time? Okay. I used to say that the weather was bad in the past too. Like, it's like, oh, it's nasty outside. You ever heard, you remember the old heads used to say that, right? Oh, it's nasty out, right? I used to say that a lot too back in the day, and that, so I want to be real, because I know people go back and they watch things like this and they think they know you because they knew you when you were 22, and they like, oh, I heard her say the weather was horrible before. Yes, you did hear me say it before, and you've also seen me eat flaming hot Cheetos for dinner when I had cheddar and sour cream ruffles for lunch and a Pepsi. I was at a different level of awareness. Okay, it's a little bit different over here now. Yeah, and today Mercury went retrograde, and we'll be in retrograde while we go through this eclipse next week. Absolutely. So I'm all about it. I was when I came through my mom's portal. It was retrograde in April, at the end of the month. This is an important time for me as well, so I get it. So that's what I mean. Like, it's not really a time for us to be doing anything and like making a lot of like fuss and making things happen. If you're feeling, this is for everyone. Like, if you're feeling stagnant, if you're feeling like the motors aren't moving forward, like, don't feel discouraged by that, because the energy really isn't supporting that. Retrograde mentally isn't really supporting that. And the eclipse, honey, I just choose to, I ain't gonna say fall back, but I just choose to, um, yeah, go look. There were several planets retrograde when I came through. It wasn't just Mercury, but I tend to focus on that more because I have a lot of mercurial energy. I was born on a Wednesday. So Mercury and the whole energy of Mercury and Gemini and communication, mental process really resonates with me. But I was a lot of planets were retrograde when I came through, and I see how that plays out and how my energy is. Like I am reserved like a mother. You get what I'm saying? Like I'll be in here. I'll be in here until I'm ready to go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very good about, and maybe sometimes it's to a fault, but I know that it is a way that it's something that has been it suits me and it has protected me. Yeah. And I know when to bring it out. I know when and I know how. So um yeah. So I just wanted to lift that up. I definitely used to say that, but it was a different level of awareness, y'all. We good. Okay. So where are we? I think we have one more slide to go before we get to our discussion questions, Padlet, and recess. Okay? Because I know you're ready to go to recess. Um, okay. Unconditional happiness is a way of life supported by modalities. Modalities themselves are not the solution. He also goes on to say that spirituality is not the end, like it's not the what do you say? It's not the means of itself. I forget how he says it, and I honestly don't feel like going back to find it, but I did anyway. Spiritual practices are not an end in themselves. They bear fruit when you become deep enough to remain open. So we're gonna. This was a this is meaty. We're going to spend a little time on this. Meditation is one of those modalities, and it helps with strengthening the center of consciousness. And when you get through that, there's a state that transcends happiness, which is ecstasy, bliss, liberation, and freedom. So I know that it is easier said than done to it is easier said than done. I want to go back here real quick. I know it is easier said than done. Um, I'm going to go back here for a little bit. Um, Remember how I said that commit to enjoying life's experiences without conditions? And when I wrote that, it felt like liberation. Okay. So I want to let me come back to liberation real quick. When I wrote this line, you know what it made me think of? It made me think of how you gonna be mad on vacation to see what around all these Jamaicans? Remember when Ye said that? Now, though, the kicker is shout out to that big Gemini, right? The kicker is the name of that song is Bound. Mm, like, what do Ye be doing? Like, what is Ye really sharing with us throughout his career, right? So it made me think about like, yeah, like vacation is fun, but I've been there. Like I've been on vacation with my partner and been angry because I'm mad at my partner for things that happen at home, things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that's happened to me before, and it's like, how you gonna be mad? We in the tropics, and it's like, I get it, but I was holding on to whatever I was holding on to, and I felt like I wanted to be mad. So that song was popular at the time. So it was kind of like a little cheeky joke between us because it was like, here she go. And I love that this it is interesting that the song is called Bound. And there's such a profound message in there in that even with the song title alone. It's like release what binds us, which I know is easier said than done. I know. But the point is that it can be done. Um, if they call you or don't call, can you be happy? If they change plans on you, can you be happy? Now, admittedly, I used to get irritated when I was expecting company. Me and somebody make plans and they say they want to come over and I'm excited and I rearrange things my day to accommodate company. Then the guest calls and say they're not going to come anymore. That used to irritate me because I'm like, I done went and then all this, and now what am I gonna do? But I'm not at that place in my consciousness anymore. And my life is full enough now so that that happens, no sweat. I have plenty of other things that I could do, or I might just go get some rest. And I also give others the same space and respect that I expect from me, you know? So that results in just that's liberation. It's like I'm not bound to it. Um, I think maybe when we think about liberation, we think about things like being free from tyranny, free from government systems, or free from a job, and all of that. All of that is true, but I'm talking about like spiritual liberation, like energetic, emotional, mental liberation. Not gonna lie, I've been the one to cancel, usually because of certain bouts of anxiety. Yeah, I cancel as well. I've also been one to cancel, but I'm speaking like let me be more clear. Not even like a guest coming over, like a person coming through just to like vibe out, but like say it was a boo who was like somebody that I like, even if they're not a boo yet. Say I like them in that way, and they say they're gonna come over, and then I'm all hype, and then they like, oh, something came up and I'm not coming. I used to get big mad about that, but I don't anymore. I just be like, don't. I just say like, if you're not gonna come, let me know. But don't like let all these hours go past and then have me figure out on my own that you're not coming. But yes, when it comes to like certain plans, I will cancel too. I will always honor my energy if I felt like the situation was going to be too much for me, or felt like I just didn't want to go no more. Then, but I'm not flaky. I just honor my energy. Mm-hmm. No, for real. Like I've done a lot. Like I did a lot to prepare this space, and you not coming. Okay, so you know what I mean. So, but yeah, that's it's all about releasing the things that keep our energy bound. I saw this video um, on YouTube a couple of days ago. This girl was talking about 11 things that she released in her life that allow her to level up, and it was very simple things. I've released several of the things that she talked about as well. And I watched the video because I was like, I wonder what she's gonna say, and I didn't expect what she was going to say at all. If anyone's interested to look at it, I will find it in a moment and put the link in the chat. But she was basically saying like she released um, the idea that she had to know everything all the time. So she like released the idea of having to be in the loop. I don't need to know everybody's business. I don't need to know everybody's tea. I don't need to be, front and center and the center of all the friend circles. I don't need that. She released, needing to know what was going on in the world, and having and being on the, people kind of, um, sometimes people, like for example, if say somebody in the world didn't know like what was going on with Diddy, just say, and 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 someone may say to them, "Oh my goodness, are you living under a rock?" Right? And it's like, no, I'm not living under a rock. I just don't know about things that don't concern me. Maybe you know what I'm saying, like that kind of thing. Here she go. So I thought that was interesting. She released a lot of things. Um, hold on. There might something might play. Okay. Um, she said alcohol, just different things. Here it is. Normal things I quit to level up is the name of the video. My life, and I like that she titled it "Normal Things" because you know how Mad Madison Gray. I think it's spelled like that. Um, where was I? Madison Gray. I love that she titles this video 11 Normal Things. Because remember the other book I'm reading, The Myth of Normal, and how um, the myth of normal is all about how we live in this society that makes things normal. but or that allows us to perceive things as normal, but they aren't healthy or right. You know what I'm saying? It's just the normal way that we do things. So, is it normal for people to be tapped into celebrity gossip? Yes. Is it the most healthy behavior and the most healthy way for us to spend our time? No, but it is a normalized behavior. So, something that's supported me in my journey is differentiating between things that are normal and things that are healthy and good for me. A lot of things are normal that are not healthy or good for me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sister, you still here? I see you, baby. Thank you for still being here. So, I like that she, and when she, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Madison. In the book, I'm talking about the myth of normal. Check that out. It's long. It's a long book. It's over 500 pages. I am not, I don't intend to read that on stream, but I do think that I might prepare summaries for it. Um, so that's that. All that to say that I love that Madison chose that title for the video because it wasn't just like 11 things I released, but specifically 11 normal things. And then she goes through and talks about how her experiences has been with releasing that and just how much happier and how much more free she feels. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so we're almost finished here, family. We do have one more slide to go. Um, and I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Um, so about this point here, mm-mm. I know it's easier said than done to get into this if you're not already into it. I know a lot of people who come through the stream already are tapped into their own spiritual practices, right? But I also know that everyone listening may not be. So I know that it's easier said than done, but it can be done with support and with tools. And in the text, in this chapter specifically, Singer says meditation is one of those tools because it helps us to learn how to block out the noise and become an observer of our own thoughts. And I'm adding this part without, feeling the need to travel with them and give them more energy. Because remember, when we focus on a thought, we start to give energy to it, and that energy puts more focus on it and amplifies it. It radiates from out of us and then returns to us in various ways in our external reality. Okay. So, I hear people say a lot that they're like, meditation's pointless. I don't want to do that. But I'm going to share some real true tips, true tips to counter anyone who may say that. And feel free to use them. Um, I've heard people say that meditation's a waste of time. Perhaps. But it is no more wasteful than mindlessly scrolling on social media, watching TV, watching streams. Okay, I'm going to include what we do here on Twitch as something that can be a waste of time if we're not being productive and intentional. Or doing any of the things that we do to keep us distracted from our own thoughts and emotions. So, but if you prefer a distraction, then ignore me. I've heard people say it's boring, right? And I feel like, okay, I get you. I feel you. And I also feel like that perception could be the result of living in this highly stimulating society. We live in this, it's like this, it's like a popcorn popper. You know what I'm saying? Remember the childhood pretend vacuum cleaners? I'm talking about from the 80s and 90s, probably like the 80s, and it was like the little balls. That's what our society is like. And it's conditioned us to need some constant stimulation and instant gratification like all the time. So I get it. Like I get it. It probably could be boring because it's not like stimulating in that way. I'm not going to take that away from you. But I will say that it could be a result from the normal, there's that word again, functioning of society. Um, that's how society normally functions, but it's not the most healthy for us. But it's what we're used to. So that's why when we have to sit with ourselves or sit and be quiet, some of us may get bored. Um, it's take the seasons for example. The first day of spring has come and gone, right? And I don't know about where you live, but the trees are not yet in full bloom because that's not how it works. On the first day of spring, it's not just like, hey, everything's grown. It takes time. So once we remove the need for constant stimuli and instant gratification, we can uncover the greatest gift. You know what that is? It's us, our core selves, our authenticity. Now, if that's boring to you, if the thought of taking that journey is boring to you, that's your choice. I've also heard some it's said before that I can't get my thoughts to slow down. So when I meditate, like I just keep on seeing my thoughts and hearing my thoughts, and it's just like, good, very good. You are beginning to feel the tension and pressure of your meditation practice beginning to get deeper. A common misconception is that meditation means you're going to sit still with a silent mind and be chanting or something. But no, that's not like meditation. That could be meditation, and chanting. It could be incorporated in that, but we're human. The mind is meant to constantly be on go. So when you're beginning your meditation practice, remember that you are practicing. I say meditation practice for a reason. You're practicing becoming the observer of your thoughts. It allows us the opportunity to slow down enough to practice being the observer of our thoughts and not feeling like we have to go with them all the time, and allow our energy to be pulled allow ourselves to be pulled by the energy that our thoughts are generating. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, I mean, those are all the things I've heard before. And then, like, ultimately, it's like if you have tried it all and haven't experienced any relief yet, then what do you have to lose? Take 1 minute from your usual scrolling time and give yourself that minute back and just see. Um, Singer also says in this chapter that once we do this and get through this part, we enter a state where happiness is not even the word to describe it. It's it's there's ecstasy is a stronger word, or bliss, liberation, and freedom. We get closer to source. In this text, Singer's using the term God. I'm using the term source. That's my personal. That's just me. We as we get closer to source, the more we release our control, our need to control our happiness. It's just like the ant bit me. That's so exciting. I'm working to get there. It's not, it's not easy, but it can be done. So that is our. For some reason, I can't find my questions. I think that the questions are. Um, I think the questions are hidden. I'm gonna have to unhide them for y'all. Yep. So ooh, Clatter, I got your whisper. I just saw it. If you're still here, I got it now. All right, we back. There's our discussion questions, I think. So, I need to learn to meditate. Yeah. Something divine sublime that helped me. I'll tell you. I'll give you two things that I did to really deepen my meditation practice. And I'll get two suggestions and an offer. All right. One thing that I did was I'm gonna skip. So I did start to I did start to do guided meditations on this app. I'm gonna send you the link, but the link will take you to the this app is called Insight Timer. The app is free and they have a library of guided meditations. You don't have to do anything but press play and listen to the guidance. They will tell you things like sit in a comfortable position. This meditation is best used with headphones, and you can lay down or you can sit up. You can. This is a moving meditation. Like they'll give you the guidance, and they'll guide you through grounding and breathing, and then take you through whatever meditative exercise it is. Sometimes affirmations are included. Insight Timer also has live classes. I take a lot of live classes there. They have them for free on the app, and also there is another tier on the app where you can pay for a yearly membership and have access to premium classes and premium tracks. I've been on Insight Timer for almost 2 years now, or over, yeah, going on 3 years now, and I haven't. I always say I'm going to get plus, and I haven't gotten plus yet because there's just so much on the free version. But everyone speaks about plus like plus is where it's at. So consider that. But before I really began to take Insight Timer more seriously, I did the Deepak Chopra 21-day abundance meditation challenge. And that really helped me to solidify and get into my meditation routine. If that's something that you might be interested in, I would totally love to do that with you. And we can invite whoever else would like to join and do that with us. So, those are two options. Whatever feels best and resonates most with you, just say the word and you got it. But there's the app for you. If you do join the app, find me. My name on there is I don't know. Send me a message though. Send me a message on here, and I'll connect with you because I think my name on there is my first name, and I think I put city in parentheses. I used to go by city on Insight Timer, but I changed it to my name because I was just sick of hiding behind nicknames all the time. Like, my first name is important. My first name was given to me because it is who I am on the inside, you know? Right, that's right. You have it from last time from when we was going to do tapping. So there you go. Make your profile and see what pops. It's going to be good. And then I'm definitely here. We're all here to support anyone and what they may need that we can help with. So here is our discussion for today, family. The questions are here on the screen. Feel free to take your screenshot if you would like to be able to journal about these or meditate on them on your own at a later time. And if you would like to, absolutely, my love, if you would like to answer these questions on the Padlet, feel free to do that as well. What's coming up for you? Name some things that tend to get in the way of your happiness in the moment. Remember, I talked about those things. For me, it was like, oh, it's raining outside. Ooh, the bus. Ooh, he didn't come over. Um, um, Little things. It could be so many things. Um, I don't like buttercream icing. I don't like olives. I don't like my hair like this. I don't want to wear those shoes. Like the list goes on, right? It's almost funny. And then what shifts can you make to make your happiness unconditional? An example of that we talked about today is how like our friend Madison Gray began to release one normal thing at a time to get back to her core self. Okay. All right. I'm going to check the Padlet real quick just to see if anyone left anything for us today. If not, you already know it's going to be time for recess. I don't see any new responses on today's discussion, which is quite all right. It's always going to be here for us as long as we have access to it. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much for today's discussion. I really appreciate it. If you like this and you resonate with this and you want more, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because this is what we do here. And I appreciate you.